in terms of creating deepness. Before we can make deepness automatic, we need to know what a deepener actually is, and I always experience different ways of doing deepening. Wouldn't that be fair? Because then you have control of one skill, and then you can put on autopilot. So what I want you guys to do is very simple. Put all your bits and pieces down and stand on up for me, would you? I'd like a volunteer, if I may. Thank you for volunteering. Who volunteered whom, I wonder? Would you stand over here for me, John? Of course. Just look at me. That's it. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Sleep all the way. That's right. Deeper. That's it. And deeper still. As you maintain your own balance, you go deeper into trance. That's right. Every time you feel this, I'd like to go deeper and feel more comfortable. That's right. Deeper and deeper. In a moment, I'm going to move you around slightly. You'll be perfectly on balance and you'll be totally safe. Just follow along as you move around slightly. Totally safe, totally on balance. That's right. And deeper. That's right. Yeah. And deeper. There you go. And deeper still. Now, because you come up here, John, and you volunteered, you get to get a gift. Everyone gets a gift. I'm Santa Claus, only a little bit less in the middle. What I'd like you to do is have your unconscious mind go ahead and search out all the experiences where learning something was easy, because it was fun, because you forgot that you were learning something just because you wanted to do it. You did it again and again and again and again, and each time it became easier, more fun, and at some point you kind of mastered it. Other people thought, how do you do that? You went, well, it's easy, you just do it. You'll know you're finding those experiences because a good feeling develops inside. Can you feel that good feeling? That's right, there you go. That feeling is going to be your guide throughout the course of this seminar, making sure that you master a conversation hypnosis. Each time it's going to get better. You don't know necessarily how or why you're getting better, but you're just going to enjoy it in the same ways you did back then. It's just going to be fun. All that is going to be as a resource to you. Nod your head if you understand this. Only you don't need to know how it's going to happen. You just need to feel good whilst you're doing it. You can do that, can you not? That's it. There you go, there it is. There you go. I'll turn you slightly. You'll be nice and deep in trance. There you go, very good. A little more than that, there you go. Now, is that difficult to read? Remember, count from 1 to 3, the count of 3 coming back, fully alert, and these suggestions going even deeper as you continue and jump to your next exercise, to give your unconscious mind a real chance to prove to you that it exists, which by the way it does, and that it can do things that will amaze you. You get to look forward to that now, can you not? 1, 2, 3, wide awake. Good job, well done. Thank you so much. Give a nice round of applause. You don't have to do the bit in the middle. That's just a freebie because he was being so kind. Once they're in trance and you've deepened for a bit, just make some general suggestions about learning. I'm going to give you advice now, though. Keep them very, very short. Why? Because the exercise will be very, very short. And if you're halfway through when I call you back, the other person doesn't get a chance to have a go. Does that make sense? So keep them very short. Just general things about learning. You've learned things in the past, and you can learn things in the future. As easy as that, and you can do it. The key things I want you to focus on is, number 1, did you see some kind of agreement or compliance going on? Yes? Let me just get some feedback here. Did you get some agreement or compliance? Yes. Okay. Was there a clear distinction in authority in terms of someone being more in charge of the process than someone else? Not in terms of value of the individual, not in terms of who's more important, anything like that, just in terms of who is directing the interaction. Will that be fair to say? Yep. Was there a context in which the hypnosis could occur? Right? In which is appropriate to do what we're about to do. Did we see some kind of an overload? Yep. Right? Did we see some kind of deepening maneuvers? The deepening maneuver itself is very simple. We're using another hypnotic principle. It's called the law of associations. You may have to bend sideways to read that. The law of associations is basically the primary level at which the unconscious mind reasons. If two things happen at once, they are the same thing. They become bonded. It's kind of like, think of your unconscious mind or experiences as being sticky. When something happens to touch onto it, it'll stick, it'll stay, there'll be a bond. It might be a weak bond or a strong bond, it doesn't matter. But there will be a bond at the unconscious level. You can exploit that bond, you can enhance that bond and make more of it. What was the association? What was the bond that we did with John? Go ahead. They're touching and deeper, right? Does touching people mean they'll go deeper into trance in normal everyday world? No? You've touched hopefully hundreds of people in your lifetime without them kind of zoning out to the floor and you're going, what the hell's going on? Am I Midas? Right? And yet, did it feel pleasant?
Yeah.
Yes? Did you see the physical changes as a result of the touch? Why? And this is beginning to answer your question, not entirely yet, but beginning to. We associated one event to another. And the unconscious mind ran with it because it already had an experience of both occurring at the same time. Make sense? Does that make it easy? Do you have a question?
Just a comment. I've had this done with me before.
Do you want to just go put in the microphone because then everyone can hear you as well?
I've had this done to me before, and the person and it was so hard.
Oh,
it was
right,
like
right. There you go.
me into the ground.
Can I just borrow you this just to demonstrate this?
Yeah.
This is an important thing. Normally this comes out after the exercise, but we may as well deal with this. Let's imagine that James is in trance, and the way you put him in trance is, whatever it is you put him in trance, right? Now I'm going to say, deeper, 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 right? Is that the same experience he had going into trance? No, right? By the way, you can actually do deepness that way, but it requires setup because the association isn't there yet. What association is normally there when people do this sort of thing to you? It's jogging, it's alerting, it's putting more energy into your system, which is precisely the opposite of what we want. Now, if I'm doing like hypnotic blitz in a more conversational setting, I might well do this. And you're a great person. You really can do it. You've seen, coaches and other people give each other a pep talk and almost beat each other up whilst they're doing it. It works there. Why? Because the context allows it. The association's already predisposed over lifetimes of learnings, right? So don't violate the associations you can pretty much assume are going to be there. A gentle touch will usually be enough. Why? Because that's when people normally relax and respond in these more open-minded sort of ways, right? And recognize, by the way, that there will be an occasion when a more vigorous sort of association, a vigorous sort of tap might be the right thing. Let me give you a hint. It's not now. Does that make sense to you guys? Go on, John.
You mean in another association with me, you said that as you find more balance, you'll get even deeper.
Yes. So
that's another association.
So John was saying that the second thing I did was then, as you find your own balance, you'll go deeper, which answers your question even more fully before I was ready to do it. Oh, you're too good, right? So that was a separate deepening mechanism as well. And that was more out of laziness for me because I didn't want to hold your weight up all the time. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. Is the exercise very clear? So you're doing exactly the same thing. Just once they're in there, just make them feel good. Say something general around learning, nothing too long. And then a gentle touch. As a rule, the more entranced someone is, the more sensitive they become in terms of physical experience. Hence, a very slight touch will usually be more than enough. All right? Just have a quick question here.
Yeah, one last thing. John, when you were inducing John.
So when I was putting John in trance, yes?
Right. What was the overload that allowed you to tap him on the back of the head?
Oh, so the question was, what is the overload that allowed me to touch the back of his head? Let's make it a little easier for you. The touch on the back of the head was the overload.
Okay.
Okay? There's other things. I was overloading him a little bit in terms of locus, focus, breathe in, breathe out, sleep. So there's a lot of instructions going on there. I knew he was going to slightly expect it, so I didn't want him to know when it's going to happen. So it's a question of timing on the overload too, if you want to have a complete answer. But the major portion of it was the tap, the shock is the overload. Okay? Everyone good? Oh, one other quick question? Just give James a nice round of applause in the meantime, because this...
It's just something I noticed. So in other words, overload happens while you are setting the hypnotic context. It's interwoven within,
yes.
Correct?
So the main thing we want to do here is, this is something we're going to get into more and more as we go along, nothing is done individually. We'll do these things individually to get used to them, to create a contrast so you know what they're at. But conversational hypnosis is everything happening at once. There's no difference, right? When someone's watching it, they should be going like, I don't see it. I don't know what's going on. It's all blending together. The analogy I like to use is the idea of pencils. You know, if you have It's not a pencil, but if you imagine it's a nice thin pencil, I could probably snap it in half, right? If I have 2 or 3 of them, can I snap those in half? I have a little bit more effort, but I'm strong like bull. I can do it. 5, 10, 20 of these things in a stack? No. You have enough pencils, you can have a tank roll over them, and they'll carry the weight. Does that make sense? So that's what we're looking to do here in conversation hypnosis. Each one of these elements is a pencil that you put through your conversations. It's very simple to weave in, right? It's invisible. But when enough of them have been stacked up together, it's virtually irresistible. And that's what we're building up towards. But hey, guys, you haven't even finished the first morning yet, so take it a little easy on yourselves, would you? Let's just do the exercise. Instant induction, go with the deepener, associate the touch to the deepener, just to see how easy it is. Give them something nice at the end, bring them back. Do 2 or 3 people if you can. You're not going to have very long. You'll have 2 minutes to do 3 people. So speed will be of the essence right now, and then we'll come back. Off you go.